guys, thank you so much for being here. So today I'm here with another collective tarot reading for you. And I pulled your current energies and I got the stone, the village, and the nectar. So when I was first tapping into your energy, I feel like you could be like extricating something that's really deep within you. So this could look like you're doing shadow work, working with your subconscious. Some of you could have memories or feelings or new a new awareness to what is like what thoughts you're having. So like you could be noticing, okay, like I have thoughts like I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, or something bad's gonna happen. And wherever it falls for you, you could be noticing like how lack mindset has been affecting the moves you make, or the moves you don't feel you can make, and you're not making the moves that you want to make because of this lack mindset. And so I think that what I love about this card here, the nectar card, is that like you can see the hand right here, right there, reaching for the nectar. So I feel like what you are doing, I'm getting Empress vibes. So like what you could be doing is mothering yourself, trying, or just even logically being like, okay, is it actually true that like I'm not good enough, or that I can't do this, or I'm not worthy, right? Is it actually true? And then I think that what's happening is that you're challenging these narratives that you are becoming more aware of, and how much they affect you in your daily life. And that's a really beautiful place to be in. I do feel there is something you're cleaning up. And again, like extricating, like I feel like I'm seeing the clean it up card in one of my oracle decks. So you could be looking at removing old energies that make you feel bad about yourself. This could be people, this could be situations, this could be old timelines even. I definitely feel like there is this feeling of being in two different timelines, and one timeline is the one that's like the lack mindset, and then there's this other timeline where it's with the nectar and you are moving into it. Because the village card speaks about we have a sense of familiarity with a community, group, or a person, and it's now restricting our growth instead of like helping us grow. And but it's familiar, so it's really hard to leave behind. And so I think that you're looking at like, okay, what do I need to leave behind? What is causing me grief? What makes me feel like I'm not good enough? Whether it be a person, a community, a mindset, a behavior, anything really. And then we have the stone, which at first I was thinking, okay, like a stone of, like you're extricating a stone, something that's like really deeply buried, which I believe is also true. Like this is true. This is just what I was getting from the card. Extricating like something that's been very calcified and heavy, right? So you're like digging this stone up, and you're like taking the stone, and I feel like you're giving it to spirit and like surrendering it to spirit, because healing, we can heal and we can grow, yes, but there is something to say about like you've done a lot of work on this, and then like this last little piece of it is almost like you have to give it up to the divine or the universe or whatever you believe in, a higher power, and give that up, because it's almost like the last piece needs to be surrendered, right? That's what I'm getting. And a letting go of control, and a letting go of the needing to look to the future or look to the past. There is a want to step into the present. And then the stone also talks about like your rock, like what makes you feel grounded, what makes you feel strong, what is your true identity. Like this is like I almost see like a remapping of your identity in some way. And like, okay, this is my old identity, and this is the identity I want to step into and new, but it's also your true identity, right? Because what happens when we were human, we grow up and we experience pain, right? We take on other people's narratives, especially our parents or certain people in relationships. We take on the narratives that they give us, right? And we deem that as truth, because as kids, we absorb everything, right? Like we're so absorbing feelings, energy, people, stories, right? And so, but before that, before we absorb those identities we are our true selves, right? We are innocent and pure and awe-seeking and wondrous and joyful, right? And we don't think we're not good enough, right? So this process is like shedding the old that was never really you in the first place and taking on the new that is you, right? It is you, the new. It's like a new narrative, but it's really the original narrative that you had before you got all of these stories kind of put on you. And it's a beautiful way to think about it, I think. And maybe you are thinking about it like this, maybe you're not. I think Spirit wants to remind you and encourage you to hang on to the new narrative and hang on to your soul's true essence. Because what this process to me speaks of is shedding the things that really hold us back and like hold us down and make us not reach for the things that we really want and make us not see things in a light that is joyful and loving and kind and compassionate and non-judgmental. And you're just taking this process and it's so like, okay, so since you're shedding so much, you could be having a lot of body issues. And what I'm getting from Spirit is like, you could be feeling more tired, fatigued, sick. We also now just went into Mercury in retrograde, which is a time of sacred pause and a time of looking back and a time of reviewing, right? So you could be going through that. But I do feel a lot of this is energetic. So you could be feeling, again, tired, maybe even like a little bit depressed. You could get bouts of feelings that you don't know where they're coming from. I do get that there could be somebody around you that you could be absorbing. So just recognize that, right? But I do get this feeling of like there is deep things that are being moved right now within you and they are being extricated from you. You are releasing a lot. So give yourself so much rest. Rest is like extremely important right now. I feel like Spirit's just like rest. Pause, surrender, right? Like what is the feeling of surrender to you? What does it feel like in your body? Does it feel good to let go of control or does it scare you a lot? And also I do feel like you are at a point in this process where control is probably feeling restrictive in some way. Like it's starting to trap you in a mindset. And I have to do things this way, or I have to do things this way, right? And Spirit's saying you don't have to do anything anyway. Like this is about letting go. Like it really is. And letting go of even managing how certain situations are going to go in the future. And there's freedom in that surrender, but it also is very scary to think like, okay, if I don't do something here, like, okay, well, I'm getting a lot. Okay. The narrative of I have to do something to be worthy is coming up, and Spirit is challenging that specific narrative. Spirit's saying you don't have to do anything to be worthy. You are worthy just on your own. And I think that this process is about recognizing that and that's the nectar, right? Realizing that you are worthy, realizing that you can do anything that you set your mind to, right? I know it sounds cheesy, but it's true. I also was getting black obsidian or tourmaline could be really important because I see on this, right here, see this right here? Right here. So this would be, get a bracelet if you don't have it. I'm like left hand for some reason. Protection seems to be coming through. Protect your energy at this time. You could be very sensitive. I'm feeling, so like when we're purging a lot of energy and when we're letting go of old narratives and when we're healing to this depth, right? Because this is deep. This is really deep healing that you're doing. There is a need to protect your energy, especially from energies that make you doubt yourself, make you feel bad about yourself, make you feel like you're stagnant, make you feel like you're not moving forward. So that's just, I feel like Spirit also is, it's like a side note of protection. I just get mostly, there is a need to leave something behind, but I think, I don't know if there's a fixation on needing to leave something behind that was happening or the opposite of that. I don't know. I'm a little bit like, what do you want me to say here? Letting go of control, like literally that is the answer that just keeps coming through. Letting go of control, of a need to control an outcome. Yeah, okay. I'm going to get the tarot and see what we get. Yeah, so the Fountain card in the tarot always reminds me of like giving yourself deep like water, which is like kindness and just deep compassion. I feel like the way through this situation, whatever you're dealing with, compassion is always the answer. Loving yourself is always the answer. Not judging yourself is always the answer. I think that as a society and even as a person myself, it's been so easy just to be like, okay, if I shame myself enough in the situation, maybe it'll make me do what my mind says I should be doing at this point. But shame will never be the way that you get through that. It just won't. I have learned that the hard way. And I still have that come up, right? Like, I have to do it this way, or if I don't do this, then something bad's gonna happen, or I can't believe you're not doing this because of this, right? And it's like looking at that part as a part that protects you and saying like, hey, I hear you. Like, I hear that you're trying to shame me into making this decision because you're scared, but like, that's not the way to do this. And then can you bring nectar to yourself in that situation or any type of situation that you're in? And give that love back to yourself that if you have high compassion for other people, which I believe you do, if you have high compassion for other people, can you turn that compassion back towards yourself? Can you look at yourself as if you were your friend? If your friend was going through what you're going through, what would you tell them? How would you treat them? Would you give them a hard time? Would you give them, I mean, tough love has its place. I'm not saying it doesn't, right? But I do feel like whatever the situation is, you've given yourself too much toughness and not enough love. So like, that's not the answer in the situation. I definitely feel like a softening is needed, a softening towards yourself, a softening and letting go, a softening towards how difficult things are and have been. Because I definitely feel like when you're purging this type of stuff and when you're moving through situations like this, it can be so hard. And I think that we don't recognize how hard it's been until maybe we're at the end and we're like, oh my God, that was really hard. I can't believe I just did that. But can you give yourself that during this process? Can you give yourself, wow, this is really hard and I'm having a really hard time and this hasn't been easy and I've actually moved through this in a way that I am actually proud of. Can you give yourself that, even if you haven't completed it, right? Because I do get this liminal space that you may be in where you haven't completely completed this last cycle. And I do feel like you are on the very last, like I'm seeing a thread, like that is it, that's it. And I think the thread again is like giving it up to spirit and like surrendering to what is in this present moment. What do I need in this present moment? What nectar can I give myself in this present moment? How can I look at myself in a way that is kinder and loving and compassionate and tender? And how do I be more gentle with myself as I move through this difficult process of letting things go and stepping into something new? And I do feel like, I don't know if the new scares the crap out of you. The new scares the crap out of me. And abundance can be scary too. Like, I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. Abundance is scary sometimes for some of us because it's not familiar, right? And what it requires of you, which is stepping into your power, loving yourself, feeling worthy. That may feel very unfamiliar for some of you, which it does to me too. So it's like, I totally get that. So I don't know if you're almost sticking into like this, maybe that's the rock you need to extricate, sticking into this in-between point, right? Between closing the cycle and stepping in the new. You may be like grinding down into this middle point because stepping forward scares the crap out of you and letting go of the old scares the crap out of you. And it's so human and so understandable and valid. But I think you recognize this. Okay, so if you're beating yourself up for sticking somewhere and stalling a little bit, don't beat yourself up for that. Like, seriously, don't. It's not going to help. Again, the shaming thing is not going to help you. Beating yourself up, criticizing yourself, judging yourself for being where you are, like, is not helpful. Like, I cannot tell you enough how unhelpful it is because I know what it's like. And I think that, again, I think the softening goes into like, okay, you're grinding into the spot right here, right? Into this middle space. Can you soften and not try to push one way or another? Don't force yourself to do anything. Can you move with flow? Can you get connected to, okay, today, what do I want to do that inspires me? Or even, okay, so like, let's say you have a goal in the future, right? That you're, this new timeline that you want to step into, you really want to do this thing, right? Can you take baby steps and can you listen to when you're inspired? So the hard thing is that when you're inspired, sometimes old stories will like skew, almost like I see a coating around the inspiration, right? Like you feel inspired, right? Then this feeling of doubt comes in, or fear, or unworthiness, or not good enough, this feeling of not being not good enough, and it kind of dampens and dulls the inspiration. I almost get this feeling like if you feel inspired, act quickly. And like also, if you're feeling that feeling of like oh, like all this doubt and fear, I've been doing this lately. So there's these you can imagine you have dials in your head, right? Like energetic dials, okay? Then you have fear for one dial, doubt for another dial, shame for another dial, joy for another dial, strength for another dial, right? Can you turn down the dial of fear and doubt? And can you turn up your strength and you turn up your joy? It's a nice visualization to help. I also think that confronting the thoughts of not being good enough, be like, is that true? Like, that's not true. I am good enough, right? And it's counteracting those negative thoughts, right? Because I think a lot of the times, like for me personally, I'm like, I just want to get rid of the thoughts. That's never going to happen. Like, they may be less and they may come softer over time once you heal a lot, right? But they may never fully go away. You're going to have days where you're like, dude, I just don't feel good enough. I just want to do nothing today. And that's okay, right? I think that you're purging these negative thoughts, right? And you may have felt like you just regressed just recently. Again, back to the old. That's okay. This is just another, like this, again, I've talked about this before, but it's like we have to do things over and over and over again, and then we'll be able to move forward. It's practice. It's becoming more comfortable with what could be and what is and what's not anymore. There's a level of acceptance that happens over time through the situations that we go through and moving through them and eroding essentially into a pearl, right? Like that's what it is. It's like you have to keep going through these things to kind of reiterate and relearn, right? Because you are relearning through this. Again, you're relearning about what you want, what you want to do, how you want to feel empowered, what makes you not feel empowered, and how to align into the nectar, move away from the village by holding on to your strength and extricating the thing that is keeping you stuck, right? The thing that could be keeping you stuck again is the thoughts of, and believing the thoughts, okay? So this is about challenging your belief in those thoughts, right? Because there is a part of you that does not believe that. I'm telling you, there's not. And that's where the nectar comes in. Can you give more power to the thoughts that make you feel empowered? And can you give less power to the thoughts that make you feel upset, sad, angry, not good enough, right? Like this is just about worth. And I think that a lot of you are challenging the narratives that tell you the things that are not true, right? And because that is what keeps you stuck, right? Believing that you're not good enough is what keeps you stuck in this liminal space of not being able to let go of the old and not being able to move into the new. And I think, again, this is letting go of control and surrendering. Yeah, see, the Seven of Swords is here. So that's like the things we tell ourselves that are lies. Again, the thought space that says we're not good enough, that we're not worthy. Okay, Spirit, what do you want me to see here? Yeah, Four of Pentacles is holding on, definitely. Holding on to what? Three of Cups. Yeah, okay. This is like hold on to the things that make you feel good. Hold on to reconnection. Yep, there's the Empress. I was feeling that with the nectar. Yeah, okay. So this is letting go of the thoughts I'm talking about. And this is holding on to the part of you that is the Empress, which is like super mothering and kind and compassionate and nurturing connections that make you feel good, that make you feel worthwhile, and this Three of Cups also reminds me of spirit guides, connecting with your spirit guides and asking them to show you who you really are and give you love too. If you ask your spirit guides to give you unconditional love, they will. Like, you just have to ask, right? Okay. Ace of Swords, Four of Wands. There's a major truth about a relationship coming to light. Could be your relationship to relationships. That's interesting. This could be like understanding how you respond to certain relationships. Respond to certain relationships. Connect with different relationships. What kind of relationships you really need and want, and what kind of relationships you don't want. What's up with it? What's this major truth about? Yeah, Two of Cups. Again, this is relationships. Some of you could be in a relationship and you're having a major understanding and clarity about what's going on in that relationship. Others of you could be thinking about what relationships you've had in the past. This could just be in general, seeing clearly what relationships you've had in the past and why, and what they've taught you and what lessons you've learned, and also seeing clearly what relationships, what type of relationship that you need that will nurture you, because we have the Empress next to the Ace of Swords. So this is like nurturing your own truth and not shaming yourself for what type of relationship that you want and that you need, because we're all different, right? I don't know if you have been shaming yourself for the type of relationship that you want or what you need. So this is like seeing that truth, seeing if you've been shaming yourself. Anything else? Seven of Swords comes out again. This is also about seeing major truths about deceit, that maybe manipulations that you've given yourself in relationships, or that other people have given you that you've believed even. This is just seeing clearly any kind of lies, manipulation, betrayals, deceit that you've done to yourself and others have done to you too. I'm hearing it's a learned behavior. Movement. Wow, this is double movement. We got Eight of Wands and Knight of Swords. There's two fastest cards in the deck. What are you moving towards? Someone moving towards you? Okay, hold on. What's this Knight of Swords about into the Eight of Wands? Just you moving towards someone else? Eight of Cups. Whoa. Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, and Strength. I was getting this already a little bit. So you've had to work really hard at letting go of something or walking away from something. You've had to let go of walking away from people, situations, things that make you feel bad about yourself, that make you, that hold this narrative strong for you. The narrative that I'm talking about, the lie, the narrative that says that you're not good enough, that you're not worthwhile. You're moving away from those types of connections, those types of people. It's taking a lot of strength to do this. We got Leo energy coming out. Is that the only major arcana? No, I mean, we have the Empress, but that's the only astrology. Well, I mean, they all have astrology, but Leo's the only thing I'm seeing here. Okay. I'm getting this feeling that here's the thing. This is an emotional walking away. The Six of Swords, which is the other card that signifies walking away and transitions, is about like the physical leaving of a relationship. This is like an emotional leaving. So there's something that you're emotionally leaving behind with a person, place, thing, or idea, right? It's taking a lot of strength to do so. Following your heart, right? Because Leo is about the heart. Eight of Pentacles is like you've been working hard to do this. Eights could be important, right? Eight is, wow, we have 888. I just realized that my strength is 8. So we have 8, 8, and 8. 888 is important, majorly. Look up what 888 is for the angel number. But it's about releasing and following your heart, releasing the things that don't serve you. And once you do that, there's something, I feel like a manifestation's coming in for you. An opportunity, Page of Pentacles. What's this Eight of Swords and Eight of Wands and Knight of Swords? Eight of Swords, interesting. You may feel stuck still a little bit. Four of Cups. The Sun. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, okay. 10 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so what I'm getting is that you're getting an opportunity, okay? Coming in for you. Okay? We got Ace of Pentacles, Sun, Four of Cups. But this is how you may be feeling about it, okay? Because I get that this feeling, right? This feeling here, this like depressed kind of like, I'm not really excited about that kind of feeling, is not coming because of the opportunity that you're stepping into. It's because of the past. That's what I'm getting because of this. Because it's taking a lot of strength to walk away from what doesn't serve you, because there's familiarity there. Could be comfort, right? But it feels safe, but it's not safe. It's a burden. And I think you know this, right? This is not something I feel like I'm telling you that you don't know. So what's the advice, Spirit? I do want to get advice. Where do you want me to use for advice? This one? This one. Okay. What's the advice? Bring love into the situation. Emotions are running high. So again, nectar, you have it within you. It's here. It's in your current energy. So keep doing the things that make you feel good, that make you feel nurtured. Adjustments are required. Communication is key. There's something you maybe need to communicate with someone. Adjustments are required. We got new moon in Gemini, third quarter moon, new moon in Scorpio. Work through your fears. Expect powerful change. Okay. Nothing will come of the situation. So what you're leaving behind, you may feel like you hope it could be something, right? You hope it could give you what you want, but you know that it won't, right? So it says nothing will come of a situation. There's fears in leaving this behind and stepping into what is coming new in for you. We have the Sun and Ace of Pentacles. Like you already, I feel like you know what this is already that's coming in for you. Some of you may not, but I get most of you know what this is because we have the Sun here, which is like an illumination. Whatever it is, it's really joyful and beautiful, whatever you're stepping into. And I think that could be why you're having fears about it. A powerful change is coming in for you. You're going to have a breakthrough. I actually, when I first pulled this card, the Village card, I thought it was a threshold card because it looks so similar. So I feel like a lot of you are on this threshold. You're in this in-between space, but you are moving forward. So this is about trusting in yourself and your ability to work through your fears, your ability to adjust when needed, your ability to hold yourself and stay stable in situations that are extremely difficult. Whatever you've just moved through, you have now gotten the tools that you need to meet other challenges head on. So this is about trusting in what you have already learned, trusting in what you have already done, trusting in how much change you've already been through and gone through and come out the other side okay, and also how much you've learned through the situations that are very difficult. And look how gorgeous this card is. So pretty. It's like expect powerful change. It's almost like you can't see it, right? Because it's like it's an eclipse, new moon eclipse, right? So you can't see it, but see what's behind it, right? It's like you can't really see exactly how much power and how much change and how powerful this change will be for you, but it's massive. I definitely feel like communication, there could be somebody that you're trying to communicate with. You could be needing to speak a truth that you have kept hidden for quite a while for some of you. Again, don't believe in the thoughts. You've shined light. You've shined light on these thoughts. So this is just, again, I think mostly what's being needed here is compassion, obviously always. But this is, again, just however you can remain mostly and present and aware. If you can remain present and aware as much as possible during this time, that will help you a lot, because I think awareness is the key here. Awareness of your thoughts, awareness of compulsions I'm hearing, awareness of behaviors. Again, this is just bringing light to the situation. I feel like you have a lot of clarity. I think that this is just, again, maybe making your internal world more clear, which is I feel like we've already kind of discussed you've been doing. But again, it's just continuing the process and trusting in the process. Like, this is a difficult thing that you've been through. So I understand if there's fears and doubts about what's coming up for you and will it be okay? And is it going to meet my needs? And is it going to be like this last situation? Like, no, you have done so much work to make sure that this last situation does not turn into the next situation. I think that this is just trusting in the process, because this is a huge process that you're going through. I definitely feel like you're on the last thread before you break through into like this new chapter. Again, this is just trusting that you're doing that, right? And again, releasing and surrendering what is. Like, if you feel like you can't do it, like, Spirit, I can't do this, I need your help to help me do this, because like I literally I'm tapped out. Like, I need your help. Like, ask for help and help will come. I'm seeing resources are coming. So if you're feeling particularly like not hopeful about like if you can do this, or if you can step into this new timeline, or if you're capable, like, you will see that you are capable. Of course, that will be something that's coming already. You're already feeling that with the nectar. But resources outside of you may be coming. Guides may be stepping up to help you through this next little piece that it's really difficult to move through. But I do feel like I'm hearing the hardest part is over. And you're going to see a lot of the gifts that you've obtained now through this healing. Wow, guys. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. And I think that's all I have for you. And I'll see you guys next time.